When there's an injustice against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up. Don't sit down on them, if they need you.
Welcome to Pop Culture Justice here on Popcorn Planet, which is basically our live show every day where I'm just going to stop looking for titles. I think we're just going to call this, Kim, it's the Johnny Depp Amber Heard update channel because it's all you guys want me to talk about. But I'm telling you tomorrow, or this week, we're going to have a non-day where we don't talk about any of it. And in fact, we're going to talk about a lot of other stuff today in addition, but there were some updates. It's a very slow news day. And you guys just want to continue the conversation a bit, and I think my question today was actually inspired by, I had the tweet. Oh, did I just lose the tweet? There was a tweet. Oh, I just had it, and now I've lost it. This whole show was literally inspired by a tweet I saw. And while I look for that quickly, because I just closed it at the start of my show. How are you doing, Kim? Welcome, it's Kim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm doing okay. I think it's true though. It's so hard. Like, we need to find more stuff needs to happen. People need to talk about more stuff other than this whole case, and not politics. And there's plenty of politics happening on. I don't want to talk about that either. But I saw this meme. I got to give props to Truth Seeker, Ferns 7 Amanda. The face you pull when you realize you exhausted all your BS moves and still owe Johnny $10.3 million. I mean, I couldn't have summed it up any better. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I thought let's at least, as we wrap this up, let's hopefully tie a bow on all of this today. Maybe we'll take a couple of your calls. Maybe we'll hang out. We'll just talk about some other issues too. The Bachelor said what last night? Plus some amazing NASA images. We got a lot of stuff. We're gonna just hang out and have fun during the live show. And you never know what happens on this show, Kim. We've pivoted into some weird areas, but it's always a blast. But today's topic to start us off with, which is how I like to start the show, is try to have some sort of main show that pulls you guys in, and then we pivot to whatever we want to talk about. And here's the theory: is she out of bullshit? Like, have we maybe hit the peak now, given today's report, which I hope you guys saw? Today's report really did disprove the nonsense she's been doing. Why is this moving? Stop. There's this ghost in my computer of the deadline. Like, she leaked. I want to reiterate what I said today earlier. She leaked this to Deadline. And I'm calling you, she did, because her team is a continuation of her. She leaked this to Deadline. I mean, you can see it right here. Deadline. They gave it to Deadline like before the judge. Before this could even come out, and like as it was getting processed, they're like, "Hey, Deadline, let's check out this new thing we just filed. Isn't it cool? Yeah. It's gonna be in chaos. Oh my God, the whole thing's crazy because the juror was lying." And all of this happened, and then even Deadline, who's so Team Amber, has to come forward and be like, "Sorry, we were wrong." Nobody cares about this story, mind you. But yeah, the Star knew. The Star knew the discrepancy, and here's the document that's like, even her own self said she knew. She said, where in a rare moment of candor, Miss Heard admits that she was aware of the purported discrepancy. Juror 15 was clearly born later than 1945. I quotes to her. She concedes she had more than enough time, but this trial started. Like, how do you... like, I just can't even, Kim. Like, they said this in a court of law with every transcript. Like, there's proof, allegedly here, that she knew, that Elaine and Amber knew. And they're literally out there trying to redact, like, oh, check it out. Ooh, this is crazy. It's going to throw it into chaos. See, they're grasping at straws. The balls are falling out of their air. They can juggle no more. I'm curious what you guys in the comments think. Kim, I'm coming to you first. Are we sensing that, Johnny's wins here? Johnny's also just settled his other case. Johnny's moving on. It's over. Do you think we're at a point now where Amber is out of bullshit? I think the lies are going to start to fall apart now, to be honest, because I think she's done so much as far as everything. I mean, we look at this week alone, right? We're looking at, in the past 7 days, we're looking at more interest in Australia about her perjury case. We're looking at the lawsuits for the insurance companies refusing to cover her because of malicious intent. We're looking at the courts, ignoring the motions that are being put forward and the other legal teams calling them out. I really am not seeing any lawyers, any legal people coming out and being like, oh no, she has a case here, there's something right about this. It's all falling apart. And you can say, you can bring politics into this, you can bring, you know, your morals into this, your compasses, la 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 la. The bottom line is there's a lot here that was said in court that was not true, and it's all going to start to fall apart now because there's nowhere else to run.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like Andrea Burkhart. I was trying to get her on. I'm going to try and get her on one of these shows just to catch up with her, wrap up with some of these people as we go forward. But she was saying that they're going to unseal a lot of documents, and I think you're spot on. Of like, look, it's a trick question. Amber can never be out of it. She's made of it, of BS. Like she's just a BS in a costume, just literal turds. I feel like disguised as like a human being adult. She's never going to be out of it as the real truth, of course. But I'm just saying, reality wise, I feel like she's running out of tricks to play. Like people have finally wised up to them. Like she's running out of moves. There's no more. She's the desperation is clearer than ever. Where even sort of the media, they'll go for the quick clicks and, you know, say it's thrown into chaos, but even they days later have to correct it. And I feel like people are starting to finally wise up. Yeah, there's no merit to any of this. Like it's done. She's got no more plays left in this field. She can continue to lie. She will always lie. She will always, you know, spin it into whatever her way is. But I feel like it's pretty inspiring to see. While there are those threads on Twitter of people who are out there still, you know, and Tug's commenting on them a lot and stuff. I've seen they're still coming at him. Eve's trending again today, guys. Like I don't even really want to talk about it because, like, what is the point? Like I'm here looking. Oh, thankfully it disappeared. I was looking at like the news here, and thank God she's not. It was there on at least on my trending. It was like Eve Barlow's a joke, and then like Amber Turd were both trending today. And you know, now it's already phased out. There are 2,000 tweets. It's not that much. I'm sure we could make something else trend if we really tried hard enough today. But yeah, I mean there's a grasping at straws, and I just don't want to keep giving energy. And I'm curious what you guys think as you tune in, because a lot of you still tune in for this topic. At a certain point, what is there still to talk about? She's done. It's over. It's like. She's got to pay. She's never gonna pay, but it's a done deal. Wrapped up. I'm glad we got some, Johnny's response to sort of tie the bow on it. Like I said, I feel like and not only did he tie a bow on her, well, I'm sure we'll get some confirmed something from Judge Penny saying, yeah, it's all done. This motion is denied. All of that's going to happen. It's also nice to hear him just moving on. I saw some trying to spin it of like, well, I don't understand. Why would he settle if he's telling the truth? Are you guys mental? Like, he just went through like the most public, insane trial ever. He wants to move on with his life. He doesn't want to go and deal with sitting in courtrooms. He's on tour right now. It's a noise. And you, as I said before, you can really go through and read the witnesses, everything about that case, where it would have been thrown out already. But he doesn't want to sit there for more depositions and everything else. He wants to be on with his life, and if he can just whatever, I don't know what the terms were. I'm assuming here, but even if he had to cut this jerk a check to move on, in this, given everything we've just witnessed Johnny go through, I completely understand this one. Yeah, I would have loved to see him defend himself in court. I'm sure we all would, but I cannot. It's not my place. I can't even imagine. You know what I mean, Kim? Can you imagine him having to go through right into another one to face to face with this jerk who, to me, from all the evidence, points that he was the aggressive one. He was literally doing something for. In fact, I want to play this clip of Kim. Are you surprised by this?
No. I think, I mean, we've had conversations about this before, that it's like we've both Annie and I have been through lawsuits that they have been settled. And sometimes that's like just the best thing. You just need to get on with your life. You need to close that chapter so badly. And it's being in a situation like that for so long, it takes its toll on you, in so many ways. And I don't blame him at all of having to go through, like, he just went through this huge lawsuits, taken years to get to this point. It was in front of everyone. It's been it's been top story everywhere. And now it's just, can I just play my guitar now? Can I just do my thing now? Is that okay? And I feel like that's where he is. And if that's where he is, then good for him. Let it go. Settle it and walk away.
Well said. And I want to just, before we sort of wrap up our closing comments on this latest update this week, I wanted to play sort of here's just for that other case that was there. Here's Johnny sort of realizing that the guy who he allegedly beat up was screaming at somebody else 15 minutes prior.
During this time, the monitor spoke with a security officer with Gilmore and Associates. He explained to the monitor that he felt threatened by the location manager. He showed the monitor a video of Rocky, the location manager, flipping him off and aggressively getting in his face. The monitor spoke to Rocky about the altercation and asked him to take a breather. Rocky seemed to back down. There was a lot of tension on the set at this time while the production tried to finish the scene.
Rocky is the location manager that Johnny allegedly punched, just so we're clear.
A lot of moving parts and personality conflicts. Do you remember any of this occurring specifically?
No, I was just reading it, and I thought it was pretty interesting, just with regard to 11 p.m. where it says where I stepped in to remind Mr. Brooks that was not proper set etiquette, and that he would. We don't have time for this, you know. And so that's at 11. At 10:45, it shows that he's already obviously in a aggressive. Says he's flipped somebody off, aggressively getting in his face. And then the guy spoke to him and said to take a breather. I don't think he took a breather.
During this time, the monitor
I don't think he did. I think Johnny's really, and you can just his whole reaction to it just feels so genuine. But here's the sort of final wrap up here.
Describing the woman that you were describing earlier, correct? This is a completely different individual, and as far as you read this?
Calls for speculation.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, it was a
question.
lousy question.
No.
We spoke around 11 o'clock. Well, we're looking at the 11 o'clock
Yes.
listing, but we spoke about an incident where Rocky, we're going to call him Rocky, that's Mr. Brooks, was aggressive towards a woman that we believe may have been homeless, and that you intervened in that confrontation that he had with the woman.
Yes.
But we're now looking at a 10:45 incident that involves Rocky. And as far as you know, does this 10:45 incident involve the same woman?
Calls for speculation.
That I don't know about. That seems 10:45 seems like it happened offset to me. It just from the way I read it, it sounds like a separate incident.
And had anyone brought this to your attention prior to you reading it now with me?
No, I was just looking at it. When I sat back down, started reading the 11 p.m., and then I looked up at the 10:45.
So it's pretty damning because, again, this guy who allegedly, Johnny did this to, was already screaming at other people as Brian breaks down in a good thread here. And then here's Emma Danoff, who was the script supervisor of this movie, who was there to watch. We moved outside to begin filming. There's a small group of homeless individuals. He gave Johnny, there's a photograph where Johnny speaks to them, gave them money and gifts. We moved outside and we were beginning filming the exterior at precisely 11:08 in the evening. Mr. Depp was sitting a few inches away from me on a bench looking together at a monitor. His breath did not smell of alcohol. He was not inebriated or under any influence that I could observe or observed during a day long of work. Mr. Depp had already been working on it all day on the film. This was a special day on set because Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Biggie Smalls, his mother, Violetta Wallace, and Russell Poole's widow and family were visiting the sets to watch. At that moment, the film's location scout, Rocky Brooks, encountered an African-American homeless woman about 25 feet from where I was sitting with Mr. Depp. Mr. Brooks loudly and aggressively berated the woman with racial and derogatory slurs for being in his presence and in his way as he was pissed. She was unable to follow his commands. I heard most of Mr. Brooks' unkind words to her. Mr. Depp also heard it. He immediately stood up for our shared seat. Stood up from our shared seat on the edge of a planter bench and went over to Brooks to stand up for the woman. Mr. Depp said to Mr. Brooks, "You can't talk to her like that. You think she is someone less than you? Who do you think you are? How dare you?" Johnny exchanged words with Mr. Brooks in this manner for approximately 20 seconds, as confirmed by my photographs, and then he came and sat back down at 11:09, as confirmed by the time-stamped photograph. There were no punches or shoves. There was no offer of $100,000 to punch Mr. Depp. They were close to each other, but Mr. Depp never touched Mr. Brooks. I remained 10 feet away from the incident during its short duration. I have 40 time-stamped photographs of the entire incident. Later, after filming Wrapped, I was in the hallway post-shoot paperwork. Mr. Depp went up and Mr. Brooks appeared about 5 feet from him and hugged Mr. Depp and said, "No hard feelings." After Mr. Brooks said what he said was in the heat of the moment. Then they both departed. I declare under perjury and under laws that this is true and correct. So here you had a full witness calling this out and just completely deflating what the other guy said, that Johnny paid him $100,000 to punch him. This whole thing made no sense. This guy clearly wanted attention. You got that. You got the fact that he was caught screaming and berating a previous crew member 15 minutes prior, hence why he was still on edge. And you realize this whole thing was silly in its own right. So regardless, it doesn't matter. I believe he was innocent on this based on the evidence. But he settled. He moved on. We don't know the terms. Maybe he didn't pay. Who knows what the hell the terms are? All it knows is both he and Brooks agreed. This is done. It's over. Moving on. Thank you. Bye. So kudos to him. To me, this is a win. This and the fact that we've proved Amber is, again, a liar in the court of law, lying to the judge and all these things continuously. Now trying to put in motion saying that the juror was something that surprised them. It's complete nonsense. And again, I think she's running out of bullshit. She's going to continue to spout it. I'm sure she will continue to lie about it, but I'm just saying the reality is I don't know what else there is to say. This is a done deal. Stick a fork in it. She's done. I hope we can all start to really now stop getting distracted and move on from all this. If there are lies out there and notices that come aboard, of course, we'll report on them. We have to. That's what we do here. I know a lot of you are here because of this, and we will, but I hope we can I wanted to sort of use today as the memorial service for this story. It's time to move on, right, Kim? Any final words before we pivot to some other stories that are out there?
May the story rest in peace. May we all move on and be like Elsa and let it go.
And thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, for the Cash App I just got. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And so many other you guys. Mike, my God, that was unbelievable. Another one. I saw it happening. I just wanted to finish the ring, but my God, you sent over. I'm going to go through them. I have them here still. So many that were sent over, as well as Albus Dumbledore right in the beginning. I was not actually late for once. If you go through my public Telegram chat, I said 15 minutes at like 2:38. I was late to the start time, but that's always approximate. You guys should learn that by now. It's approximate start time. But I appreciate your support that you sent over there. Dumbledore's, I'm going to make sure I got Dumbledore's first comment, which was, "I need treatment. I'm so gullible. I'm here on time always, even if I know better. I think he is late on purpose at this point. Who wants to host a stream for just me and the audience?" Laugh, laugh, laugh face. You know I love you, Albus. I'm sorry. People have come used to it. It's hard. I'm trying. I want to commit to the start time. I'm going to try my best. It's always the headline that throws me, because some days I'm literally ready to go live and I'm like, I don't know what to call this show. There's really nothing new to talk about. And then a lot of you guys will send me this stuff and I'm like, all right, I guess we'll talk about this topic, but I'm starting to lose interest. Because I feel like the man's won. The man's won. We continue to keep screaming about Eve and talk about her tweets, but it's only going to empower her. Unless there's something really I feel like we need to address. I think it's all time to move on. I will say the last bit we have here to show how this story has jumped the shark. We have Doja Cat in a repeat. Remember Doja Cat yesterday? We talked about her. A lot of you didn't like her, but here she is, one of the more famous people, I have to say, who's apparently now going to roast Amber. Here it is.
It's honestly hella sad because, like, she's a puppy, my dog. And I've had her for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now. And like, and she like was just running around the grass and she steps on a bee. So y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what fucking time it is. You know what time it is. My dog stepped on a bee. She stepped on a bee. My dog stepped on a fucking bee. It's honestly hella sad.
Well, there it is. And she got a lot of flack. There were fans who were now mad at her because she was mocking Amber. Oh my God, get over it.
Her dog literally stepped on a bee. I can't even tell you how many times when we were when that whole thing was like at the height of it, we would all be saying to each other, like, how does that even happen? How does your dog step on a bee? I have had so many dogs in my life, and not one of them has ever stepped on a bee. And there's literally like a honeybee, like a honey area behind my house, where there are like the containers where all the bees go in and make honey. And my dogs have never stepped on a bee. I have so many questions about how this even happens.
But it's, as you go through the quote tweets, it's a lot of Johnny fans now have taken over, but there was all this outrage to, how dare you mock her? Oh my God. I mean, sorry, this transcended even her. This became such an icon. Steps on a bee, exactly, Kim. Like, what? How does it even happen? But apparently it happened. And so if your dog steps on a bee, I think forever, yes, you're allowed to do the, my dog stepped on a bee type of reaction. Go ahead, Kim.
The other thing too, I just want to say, like, okay, I like Doja in the sense that Doja Cat is one of the biggest trolls, I think, on the face of the earth, and she owns it and she does it well. And you know, you got to have some respect when people don't take themselves that seriously and just want to have a good time, and they know how to use their social media and get attention for that and everything else. But there's a number of things that you could be mad at Doja Cat about, of what she's done. This is an odd one, I think, to be like, this is why I stopped standing.
Well, here it is.
This is why I deleted
oh, she's
her.
over. She can go to hell. First she beefs with a 17-year-old. Now she's making fun of a DV victim. Yeah, like, and there's 14 likes. She made a TikTok where she's mocking Amber Heard's essay testimony. Ugh, gross.
I'm just saying,
so disappointing when her
Doja,
fan base is made up a lot of black women who statistically experience higher rates of DV. Oh my God, it's like, this is, even see, so this is the problem, Kim, right? We want to move on, but the public still refuses to accept the reality. I can't even make it make sense. He won. Why are we still, why is this still happening?
The only thing I remotely care about with this story is I hope that Doja Cat's dog is okay. She sounds like a puppy that must really hurt, and I hope she is. I don't know if the puppy's a girl or boy. I just hope the puppy's okay. The puppy doesn't deserve that.
Not a single giggle.
And boo, tomato.
Oh, gross. Really? So what's so sad, and I guess that's why the story can't end, as much as I wish we could move on. It can't end because they're going to totally turn this around someday. So, the next generation of... Kim, you know what? That's a perfect segue. It's a perfect segue to that Thor story. Because, my God, what is the world turning to? See, the show always just finds itself, and now the story is the fact that people just suck. People are too triggered by everything. People can't accept reality anymore. All right, hold on. I'm looking through my guys. Did you know that there are people out there that demanded that Thor have a trigger warning? Now, I saw Thor: Love and Thunder, and when Kim shared this was this from you, Kim, or someone in the group?
Yeah.
When she shared this, I was like, wait a second, what scene am I missing? I'm going to pull it back around in a second, but hear me out for a second. Thor 4 demands a trigger warning for graphic scene and gets called stupid. Now, spoiler warning, I'm going to spoil part of the movie because it's sort of like a surprise in the movie because it's part of like the character arc. Because I read and figured, and I was like, what? I was like, what? So we've been warned. I'm going to spoil it because this fan demanded that it just be spoiled, and because they needed a trigger warning because it bothered them. Okay, here it is. Ready? You ready for the trigger warning? Can anyone guess what it is if you've seen Thor: Love and Thunder? Fans are outraged for one atrocious moment featuring a major character. A graphic scene. I know what it is, and I'm still like, what are you talking about? Brewing backlash has resulted in some other Marvel diehards dragging the more fragile fans for being stupid. That's what I'm about to do. In a pivotal scene from the new box office blockbuster, Natalie Portman's character, Jane Foster, receives the startling news. I told you, spoiler, she has stage 4 cancer before donning on the superhero suit to become the mighty Thor. This is a major plot point in the movie showing Jane undergoing chemotherapy treatments for her illness, and some fans are demanding a warning be disclaimed on future showings. The offended parties argue that the scene could be harmful to some who have cancer or know of loved ones who have suffered from the sickness. Oh my God, I can't even. No spoilers, but it's a spoiler, dude! Love and Thunder should have a trigger warning for graphic depiction of cancer, and the fact that we didn't know going in is atrocious. MCU fans suck sometimes, eh? I mean, oh my God, I can't even begin to explain the stupidity behind this. Because look, as Kim and I were talking, I think we've agreed, Kim, and I'll get your thoughts. Look, you live in who is this, Xavier I'm yelling at? Xavier, you live in the age of the internet. It's 2 clicks away, my man, to figure out whatever you want about a movie. It's all spoiled. They have parent guides. They got spoiler guides. They got the whole breakdown of the plot. If you are so sensitive about cancer scenes, which happen in a lot of friggin' movies, well, then that's a you problem. You got to go do the homework on yourself to deal with your own sensitivities and go spoil your damn movies and make sure that every movie is safe for you, Xavier. You don't get to police all the rest of the movies for us and spoil it so I get a trigger warning to know, oh, crap, who's going to get cancer in this movie? What? That's ridiculous. And it comes back to this whole point of we live in a insanely, overly sensitive, entitled new generation that I can't even stand it, Kim. I'm love is love. I'm all for be who you want. Everybody support each other. Let's be positive. But no one sees the other side of this enough. I'm sorry, Xavier, you're being a bully. You are demanding that your feelings are so important, and whatever handful of people across the world who can't go do their own research, that we all must now be warned and coddled because we can't handle a scene with someone with cancer. I have family members that have died of cancer. I can handle it. It's about each individual choice. We're human beings who have our own feelings, and they don't match yours. My God, I'm sure you have a couple people who will agree with you. There may even be a few in this channel. But my God, I hope you on this channel don't think we should censor the movie or have to put disclaimers. What else? And then where's the list stop, Kim? At what point if we start saying, well, there's a chemotherapy scene in this movie? Oh my God, can you imagine the list of warnings we'll have to start doing? They eat a burger at one point in the film because any vegans might be offended. Oh, they have eggs for breakfast. Be careful, people who don't like chickens being murdered. Oh my God, like it literally could spiral out of control because you're afraid of a chemotherapy scene? It's madness. This is madness. And it goes back to we have a whole generation online. I'm not calling anyone out specifically, but there's a lot of them where we've now created this sensitivity that's overboard. And it's like, now they don't even want to read or the actual information about the trial about Amber, bringing it back full circle, because they just are told we have to believe all women. That's it. They're all the victims. We must believe them. How dare Johnny Depp? He's a monster. Oh my God. How dare you, Doja Cat? It's insane. This is insane, the world we live in. People don't think straight anymore. You can't make it make sense. That's why we're here to call up this nonsense. I can't even begin to explain how frustrating this is because this is moronic. I finally get to use my button. Stupid! What on earth is the problem with this world? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This makes me, I literally can't help but extend my voice and rant. I can't, and screw this New York Post for even making this a story because 12 people have seen this tweet. We find one tweet and then everyone reacts when the reality is this guy's take is a bad take. And yeah, Xavier, you're being ridiculous here. No, you can say, and now if you wanted to say, warning to everybody who's going out to Thor: Love and Thunder, if you had any family members who've died recently of cancer, be warned, bring the Kleenex or something. Like, there's a way you could have said it that I would have had no issue with you. But you're entitled. Look at this. It should have a trigger warning. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Definitely not. There's no graphic depictions. She's going through chemo. It's a sad part of the movie, and it's a surprising part of the movie because, again, spoiler warning, that's why the Hammer chooses her. Because there's a moment in the film where Thor's like, protect her, talks to the Hammer, and he goes, I want you to protect her for me if I'm not here. And at that point, when she finds the Hammer, she's sort of drawn to it, she's dying. And so it's a significant plot point in the film that sort of justifies why she becomes Mighty Thor. And I actually thought it was a very clever, touching part of the film. One of the few serious moments that I liked in a movie that's way too silly and filled with screaming goats, juxtaposed with a character dying of cancer, a villain who's trying to kill gods. I'm like, what is this movie? It's just a total mess. I wish it would have leaned into serious stuff. But anyway, Kim, am I going nuts or is this stupid?
No, I don't think you're going nuts. I mean, here's the thing. Like, there are definitely things in movies with my history that some people can watch them as entertainment. I can't. It's different sometimes. I think when you go through some trauma and it's like that, I understand that people can sometimes watch that and be able to enjoy it and see it as a story. But for me, it gets a little too real and it affects me. So something that I started doing when I started going through treatment was I didn't want to be in a situation where I'd see something that would throw me off and would set me back in my recovery. So I started to just like check like parental reviews on like IMDb. You can go there. There's like parental, like content given that explains if there's anything in a film that you wouldn't necessarily want a child seeing, and they just say what it is. And a lot of the time they do it without giving spoilers, or they let you know if they have to. And then I can kind of look at that and go, okay, so that's good. I should be good with this. I'm going to go see that movie and I won't have any issues. Or if I see something and I go, maybe I'm going to let my husband watch that first and he'll let me know if it's too sensitive based on the way that he knows me, and then we move from there. But the thing is, that's my problem. I don't expect other people to cater to me for that, because that's an issue that I have and I'm working to deal with, and I'm working on my triggers and I'm working on all that stuff because I want to move past it in my life. But expecting everyone else to bend over backwards to protect you from anything that could potentially offend you just is not realistic, and it's never going to happen.
Well, there you go. Another show. I don't know where I spliced it, but I did because this show went up to almost 3 hours-ish. If you want to catch the full shows, become a member today. Hit that join button, pick a tier, become a member, and you'll get to watch all the replays. And we are planning some fun members-only streams. I promise it's coming soon, so make sure you stay tuned and make sure you support my colleagues here. It's Kim, Steph the Alter Nerd, and Nerd Report, all available on YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe, support their link trees, donate as well. Thank you guys who supported here. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it without any mention of that woman. I'm going to do it. Unless there's some crazy breaking news, and you'll see me eye roll it tremendously. Let's cross our fingers. Tomorrow, we're going to try to do something different. Let's see. Hopefully, you guys still commit because we can't keep empowering this person. But stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you guys tomorrow. If you're watching live, head on over to Nerd Report. If it doesn't redirect you, just search for it. Or later, click on these when the video gets trimmed. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.